Welcome by a new video, and today we're going to discuss Pokemon cards. No, I'm kidding. Today we're going to discuss Bitcoin once again, but also by many requests we're going to discuss Cardano because Cardano hype is going away, which is a topic to discuss, and therefore this video is about Cardano and Bitcoin. But before we continue, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video. Also, today I'm doing request day on Twitter. I'm going to chart about 6 to 8 charts throughout the day. If I can't chart them on Twitter, then I'll be doing it in the live stream tonight. What can we see on the chart of Bitcoin in itself? We can see that some signs of weakness, right? We've got some stuff coming week that's very important to watch. First of all, the yields are still crawling up, which in a sense is a bad impact for the markets that have or can be qualified as risk-on assets. So that could have an influence. Second, we've got the Fed on Wednesday, where there might be a case that they are going to announce a hike up in the rates, which could also have an impact on the market. But when I'm looking at the price action over here, I'm going to look at it as if we are having a weak breakout. So if we go back in history in any of these breakouts, we can see that the price starts to accelerate heavily. There's an example here where we saw this big break occurring, consolidation and continuation. We see the same in this construction above 40k, where we just accelerate heavily afterwards. But in this case, we can see that in the entire run, the volume is draining down, which means that there is a sign of weakness, but also there's a weak breakout at this point, looking more likely that we're going to see a fake out. So I'm slightly cautious on the price action right now, and yeah, you're going to burn me again about corrective March, this and that, but we have been seeing altcoins accelerating heavily. They have to correct at some point. How are they going to do that? By Bitcoin correcting. I'm not assuming that if Bitcoin is going to continue moving from here, that they will be crashing down heavily in the current market circumstances. So I'm assuming that if Bitcoin is losing that critical level that we're going to discuss in a little bit, altcoins will have a corrective period, will grant you opportunities, which is amazing to look for. So what we also see is that there is possibly a rising wedge, a bearish divergence, nothing confirmed yet, but then we have to look at the lower time frames, in which we can see that we've got a very harsh drop down in the past 6 to 8 hours. Again, the police is coming for me. Always when I'm saying something bearish, they are coming for me. So from here onwards, I'm only going to be bullish. But regardless of that, also on-chain analysis is showing inflow towards the exchanges, big parties, etc. Regardless of that, we can just see that we had a beautiful upwards construction, and we're currently in the critical level to hold for further upwards momentum, which means that we have to hold this entire region between 56.5 to 57.3, preferably above this recent high. But given this fast drop down in the past 6 to 8 hours, the construction is starting to look a little weak, through which losing this entire area, and I'm going to look at a sharp drop down towards the range around 51, 53 to 51, and then you are probably going to shift the momentum and have a copy paste of what we have witnessed during this period in the halving period, in which, as a matter of fact, even if we drop down and consolidate above 45k, everything is fine, and then we can have a massive alt sum either way. So we have to hold this level. If this level holds, the path to 68k is still on. But if we lose this range between 56 to 57, I'm going to assume that we are dropping towards 51. So don't forget to subscribe. We're going to discuss this tonight in the live stream as well. Then we've got another one, which is Cardano. I had some massive momentum, through which we can see that we've had a massive run up either way. And since then, the momentum is slightly draining away, which is not bad as markets go in waves and hype cycles. And that's also happening on altcoins. So now we can start constructing the levels to watch. We've had a beautiful test at 70 cents. We've got another level here, and we've got this entire region here. So we are getting into massive support levels on Cardano either way. if we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, we can get some more confirmation, in which we have been saying on previous ones that if we get a rejection here, I'm going to look at this entire block for potential support. So what do we see on the lower time frame? We can see that we've got a beautiful retest at $1.15, weak bounce creating a lower high, support test failing to hold, support test here, another bearish rejection twice and 3, another lower low, and now we're constructing another downwards path to which I'm going to look at this entire region for support in general. And that could be constructing support for this entire correction, but the point here is that you should be reminded that if something is hyped, there is not an entry point unless you scalp or day trading. When the hype is trading away, that's the moment you want to get into those positions, as people will not be focused on them. People will always chase the FOMO assets. That's why I got an interview on the radio again regarding Bitcoin. Avoid chasing those and look for something that is not in FOMO and derive historical price action levels to take the entry on. This is one of the levels that I've been saying a few weeks ago already. That's where I'll be getting interested. The next zone that I'll be getting interested for Cardano is this range around 70 cents. So currently the lower time frame construction is bearish for Cardano, which is completely fine. You have to look at some clear support zones to see if this is going to make a failed breakout to the downside, so we get something like this. We might be getting there, but overall I'm looking at any support regarding between 88 to 96 cents. If we get towards Cardano against Bitcoin, we can see that we are dropping down heavily as we lost 50% in the entire correction. And just like we constructed support at Cardano in the USDT chart, we can also find that we're currently finding support in the Bitcoin chart, as this is the previous high and we got this entire block. So once we start to bottom out on Cardano against Bitcoin or Cardano against USDT, you want to see a bullish divergence in this case, in which we clearly bottom out. And once we do, a slight bounce up will already trigger continuation towards any of these Fibonacci levels. So these are the ones you should be looking at. Overall, I'm assuming that we're going to get this run towards this red zone either way, and that is also the horizontal price level here, in which that is very interesting to watch for the potential relief. That will probably also trigger people to become bullish again on Cardano. But overall, the point of view here is that we're just making a very natural sideways action before we can start continuing with the new impulse wave on Cardano. And you can see it in the previous run as well. Heavy drop down, bounce, another drop down, and then we start to run. So in this case, you're looking for a scalp or swing trade or scalp or day trade in which we can get this bounce. If you're an investor, you're approaching the levels that you might be getting interested into Cardano right now, as those opportunities are the ones that you're looking at in a bull cycle. So that's my update for today. I'll be back tonight with a live stream. Do not forget to tune in. Have a wonderful day. Take care, stay disciplined, and stay patient, and stay calm. Have a wonderful day.